Hello, this is Mike, and I want to show you the results of Monday's uh, stock market on the new Crystal Ball program, and how we can look back at the history of what happened on Monday and learn how to read these charts. Uh, so this red candle is what happened on Monday. It went down significantly. You see, it came down to where it went from being close to these upper Bollinger lines to down to where it looks like it bounced off this. I believe that's the 4 uh, with that tail down. So let's look at what that looked like on the probability chart. There we go. So if you remember, price increases from left to right. Here's where it closed on Friday. And the high for Monday was here, 40.12. Here's the open at 4,005. And then it went down. Let me get these out of the way. That's the close right here. It should say it here in a second. Close. And you can see the close is right at this intersection. And that's the intersection of this one, which is if I get the contextual to work, top 4 and the top 5. So let me get rid of this. So we can see that, let's just go through what happened. It opened right here at the intersection. That's the intersection of the top 4 and the lowest low curvature upper Bollinger of top 12. You can see this top 12. So you can see that the lowest upper one, that's a low curvature, is significant, and you can see they're in clusters. Okay, so that's where it opened. Now, after opening, it did come up to where the top 4 again crossed. It looks like I believe that's the 2 here. The top 3. Let's see what that is. They're so close together. But you can see that that's the high for the day. That's the high marker. It should say high. There we go. And it's kind of hard to see just what that intersection is. I don't think it's any of these. It's not that. I would say it's the intersection of this top 4 with one of these lines. And those lines are the top 2 and the top 3. The top 2 and top 3 intersect pretty close together. So that high is almost at 3 intersections. So, and it gapped down to here. Let's see, why did it gap down? Usually it gaps down to where you got real tight. Let me come down here a little bit. Scroll down. Oops. I mean to go back to there. Well, I looked. I really couldn't see any reason for the gap down. Usually it's when you have squeeze. Could be like there's a squeeze somewhere right here. Those lines are pretty close together and they open up, and that could have squeezed the price this way. It didn't go much right to here. So that's the high. Now that would be a way to play this, because the close is way down here. If you knew where that high was going to be, so you could see that when the price opened here, it came back to this intersection right here, and take that as being a stop, a hard limit stop, and go short and stay short to the close. Now let's see. On as far as the very low, it would be hard to say, well, where is the closing price? Well, we see it. It's right here. That intersection right here is the close. And you see that is significant. I mean, there's quite a bit of an angle, and there's definitely an intersection of where, as the price goes down, the top four is becoming larger than the top five as the price goes down. So that's kind of, you expect the four, if the price is going down, to go down through the five. So maybe that's the reason that's not allowed. It's we have to just study that to get the what are the probabilities of these occurring. And then it went down to where this blue is, and do we see an intersection where the blue line is? No, we don't. Not in the top. Let me go on up there again. I don't see any intersections in here. And let me go down to the bottom for that blue. Well, really, it's like this intersection here with this bottom three. Or no, it's really like this one right here. I would say it's this bottom. Let me see what that is. At the bottom six, intersecting the very top of this bundle. That would be intersecting the bottom 12. I call these are the high curvature lines, and these are low curvature lines, and the low curvature ones are stiffer. So when you see an intersection in those, that's more significant. Now there is an intersection right here. There, maybe that's the squeeze. See how at zero this is squeezing, and it's squeezed this way, and you can see that yeah, when that squeeze opened up, you see a little daylight between those lines. That's where the open occurred. Now why it occurs there and then comes back up a little bit? Well, you can see that the high was where that squeezed together so much it stopped it. You can't see any daylight between those lines right here. So anyway, it makes sense that this low for the day occurred here. Now, why did it not stay at the low, and why did it go back up a little bit? It must be that this intersection is more probable. You do see it's a nice, clear, no other lines around there, and it's a pretty good angle between those lines too, where this angle you see is less. Okay, and let's see if we can see what area is here. We got, I guess if we were going to draw an area, it would between this red line at the open, it would be this red line to this here, and that's a pretty good area right in there, see? So we closed a larger area by doing that. And that seems to be what the purpose of, or the mechanics of the stock market is. It's, but it did close this area by coming to here. But this was more predominant intersection. Okay, we can see what we're faced with here trying to interpret these lines, but you can see what's the odds of the price ending right at. Now this, remember, these lines were drawn on Friday, okay? And these are the same lines I showed you Sunday in the video, so all those being added is where these prices ended up yesterday. Okay, well, that's how I interpreted the chart for you here. And I'll do this for a few days so you can see how this method works. And maybe you'll probably end up being a lot better at this than I will. And maybe even come up with an algorithm. One thing that is important is the area enclosed, the angle of the lines, and and another is you can see if you look, all of this is open. Here's the first intersections way back here. We got all these other intersections blocking it. So that intersection would matter. So you don't have any real intersections going high in the bottom until you get down into this. So so the head of the fish is on the left side here, right here, and you can see that low there. You see this that line, which is the bottom three, intersects the low curvature bundle at the bottom right here too. So, and that seems to be the low. That's what stopped it. I would probably see as that price was coming down, you would see that line hit this. Now, it did go by this. So why did this bottom two intersection didn't stop it? I don't know. I would have thought that bottom two hitting this top bundle would have stopped the price. But it may be because there's nothing in the top to, let me see if I can move this line over. There's the bottom two. Now, we got anything in the top corresponding to that? I don't see anything. So, other than this, but that doesn't seem important. So, yeah, maybe it's because of the lack, that isn't supported with anything from the top, where this 2 intersects that bundle. Nothing up there that's significant. Whereas when you come over to where that is, we had something. Of course, we got that, and that does look very attractive. That's the way it is, though. After you see the prices on there, it's obvious, but boy, until you see them, it's done. So you want to look at tomorrow? So let's see. Let me go back to the candlestick, and I have to go forward one. Let me hit Control G. And you should, when we see this black marker move over to the red candle, I'll know I moved the marker to yesterday, being Monday, and now I'm looking at Tuesday. Today's intersection right here, we know the futures are up. Let's see. Let's look at this one now. I've already done this work on it. We see here's where the gap up is right now. If you want to see that, and right now, let me refresh this page. Here we see we're up $12. So let's see where that is on the chart. And that's where I've drawn this, I think. I've got it at 39.76, and it closed on Monday at 39.63. So that's 13. That's about, that line is about right at where the gap up is. And here I can show where the gap up is. I drew some heavy bold lines showing these three pairs push the price up past zero. And so where do we think after this gap up, where we'll close? So I put these little circles where I see intersections. So there's an intersection. That's a, if I get what that is, top 5 and top, what is it? Top 3 and 5 right here. And then there's another one on past if it goes a little bit further. But look at this one, that top 2 with the bundle of the low curvature top. That looks like, since that isn't very close to the center, I'd say it will go on past that and close right here. Who knows though? It may come to here as the high and back off to right here as at the close. That's probably more likely, because a lot of times you'll see that it'll come to here and then it backs off a little bit, just backing off because of this. There's no intersections in these upper low curvature. And one thing I haven't been doing is showing you where these lines are located on the candlestick charts and where they are and why some of them are stoppers and others aren't. Okay, well, that's all for the day. Thanks for listening, and I'll try to do it again tomorrow night. Thank you.